Welcome back to every NES game, where we go through every NES game. Shockingly, I'm Slider, once again joined by Mangalova.
Yeah.
Now this qualifies for this early in this marathon because it's not Dragon Strike, it's Advanced Dungeons & Dragons Dragon Strike.
See, I'm only really familiar with Pathfinder, but do you usually play a dragon in Dungeons & Dragons?
I'm not the one to talk about for literally any of this type of RPG. So, play as dragon, and we have to defeat the warships and the horrible kraken.
I mean, I don't know why I'm judging the option to play as a dragon. Like, why would you not play as a dragon when you have the option? It's so cute, too.
Good point. Yes.
Look at that little fire and death flying around. Oh, is that spitting lightning and boulders?
I guess. So, this is a sort of, not a traditional shoot-'em-up, but more just like, it's like a shoot-'em-up if you're allowed to go places instead of just up a lot.
It's like, I don't know if any of your attacks were doing anything to that ship and all these dudes.
Nope.
Dudes use rock throw. Shows I had fainted.
Yep.
I mean, the music isn't horrendously annoying, and it's pretty clear. Oh, there you go, you exploded, dude.
We killed the caveman.
Yay!
Why are there cavemen in Dungeons & Dragons?
And there's another dragon. Like I said, I'm mainly familiar with Pathfinder, so I honestly couldn't tell you if that's a normal thing or not.
I think the most consistent experience I have with Dungeons & Dragons was playing about 5 hours of one of the Baldur's Gate games. So I could tell you nothing outside of secondhand information, vaguely. And we died again.
I only have generalized secondhand knowledge from knowing how tabletop RPGs work, and blogs like Out of Context D&D, which is one of my favorite blogs on Tumblr.
Anyway, we suddenly became small for no reason.
Okay, one of the arrows made you... It's just like a Mario game where when you get hit, you shrink, and then you get hit again and you die.
No. And it actually took me... In fact, I was very confused when this happened. This game has actual elevation relevant, so we can go from either being on this elevation, or if we press, I believe, up or down, we can go to the other elevation.
Oh, okay.
But if we hit a cliff that's, you know, to there, so like that type of cliff we can fly over in this mode, but we would hit it in the other mode, and it would send us back to the higher elevation. But we can't hit those higher cliffs at all, or it'll hurt, regardless. There's actually a weird mechanic for an old NES game.
An interesting mechanic. But yeah, definitely weird for now.
This game does not have the necessary 3D to pull it off, I think.
It just kind of made you look really... I mean, they had a go of rendering a bigger shadow to show that you were closer to the water.
Yeah, fair enough, there's that. Why are there cavemen?
Why are you a dragon?
Because it's Dungeons... At least, you know, I can at least get Dungeons & Dragons, but why there... I refuse to believe there are cavemen in Dungeons & Dragons.
I suppose it just depends on the scenario you set up, but just who is giving this dragon quests? Who is giving a dragon orders to go out and kill things?
By the way, this might have been apparent, but we have to go to a lower elevation to actually hit those ships.
Yeah, I was getting that.
And hitting those ships are our main objective.
It just looks like a cute little bird when you're in the lower elevation.
Yes, it does.
You get a little birdie.
Look at a little bird being shot at by ships.
Yeah, look at a little birdie making ships blow up.
Ugh. And we died. Before we could get a health potion.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic timing.
Yes.
Absolutely brilliant.
So, So probably the most interesting thing about this game, honestly, is that it was made by Westwood. Westwood Studios, if you don't know, are the creators of the Command & Conquer series.
Okay.
And Dune 2 and like a bunch of beloved PC games. And yet somehow they just randomly ended up making this, which has nothing to do with anything. It's so weird.
It's kind of... It says Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, but there really isn't much roleplay to it. Like, you don't have character creation, you just have character selection, and you're...
Yeah.
Kinda...
So this is one of 4 Advanced Dungeons & Dragons NES games. I'm not shocked that there are Dungeons & Dragons NES games. It's just not something I would ever think of, ever. For any reason.
It's more just like simplified shoot 'em up with dragons.
Yeah. We also deal with these type of dragons. Do you know what these type of dragons are called, by the way? These sort of... the ones that have like almost like a turtle shell back. Like, I know they exist in other mediums and such, so they are a thing, and not something this game just made up.
When you're talking about water-based giant lizards, my first thought is Nessie.
Okay, yeah, I guess that's obvious, but...
wasn't actually aware of like ocean-based water monsters other than the Kraken and like mermaids and sirens. But Kraken's always very, squid-like or octopus-like, so...
Yeah. Now, the idea is we're supposed to, when we destroy all the ships, we, able to go past the top of the screen in order to fight something. But,
with no landmarks, you kind of can't tell that you're at the edge of the screen other than that, yeah. That's...
However, my assumption was that, well, obviously we have to kill all the bad guys then, right?
Gotta kill the cavemen too, I guess.
By the way, I barely mentioned it even when they are on screen, but there are other power-ups other than health, like that. There's like, I'm not sure exactly what they do. Like, I think some of them just change your power-ups a bit or give you better power-ups. And we found the last ship, by the way. Thankfully, the game was nice enough to, like, well, give you a slight indicator that something happened.
Yeah,
now we can go to the other screen.
Except for audio. That's a Kraken.
That's a Kraken.
That's a Kraken, that.
Yes. Now, the only way we can hit it is when we're below like that, but if we get hit at all, we go back to the higher elevation, so that's annoying.
I thought those were whirlpools at first, but they look like they're like water shuriken or something.
I guess. Okay, come on, hit the mouth. We're not losing too much health, so maybe we can do it.
It is hard to tell because it doesn't have a visible health bar, so... yeah.
But then, apparently his tentacles do a lot more damage than his other attacks, and I'm dead. Goodbye.
Fair enough. Well, we've seen what that game's about.
Yep.
Dragons, not many dungeons.
No. They got it, like, half right, I guess. Close enough.
It does come off like, your standard, like, aerial shooter game that's trying to go for a demographic that isn't usually into aerial shooter games.
Yeah, kind of, I mean, I'll give it credit that it's at least not a generic shoot-'em-up. It, like, actually tried to do something that's unusual.
Dragon.
Ish.
But...
well,
yeah,
mostly in the fact that you can actually move around. Whereas, like, most shoot-'em-ups were very... basically on rails, I guess.
Yeah. I'm still not quite sure where either the advanced or really the Dungeons and Dragons come into it, though.
Me either.